Welcome back to Satisfactory Project Nuclear Overdrive. In the last episode, we built all these refineries. That's a lot of refineries. We built 30 refineries of polymer resin, and we built 34 refineries of heavy oil residue. Plus, we're also making some heavy oil residue here. So we got a lot of heavy oil residue. So what do we do with all this? Well, we need to make plastic, rubber, fuel, and petroleum coke. So that'll be fun. So here are the recipes we're gonna use in this episode. So let's just plop down 4 of these. So we are gonna use residual rubber, which is the polymer resin and water. We're gonna use recycled plastic, which is rubber and fuel. I don't need this. We are going to use petroleum coke, which is the heavy oil residue. And in the blender, we're going to use diluted fuel, which is heavy oil residue and water. So those are the 4 recipes we're gonna use in this episode. I don't know how I want to set this up. Truth be told, I don't want to have to carry the heavy oil residue super high up into, like, on multiple floors. So we got to figure out what recipes require heavy oil residue. And that's going to be petroleum coke and diluted fuel. Okay. So maybe on this floor we do those 2, and then on the floor above we do plastic and rubber. I think that's a good solid plan. So what we need, and I'm gonna write this down somewhere, figure it out I guess. I want to write this down on a board so you can see. We need, let me just get this set up properly. For diluted fuel, we need 8.042. That's annoying, but that's fine. So that's that. For petroleum coke, we need 34.147. Okay. And then for these 2, for plastic, recycled plastic, this one's actually pretty nice because we only need 11.87. I can live with that. And then residual rubber, this one's the problem child. We need 71.29 refineries for that. That's going to take up a lot of space. Let's just say 72 divided by 2 is 36. That's not going to fit on 1 level. Okay. We're going to have 2 levels for residual rubber. That's fine. Oh, that is fine, I guess. So this is going to be jeez, I can't talk. This is going to be a pretty large building. Pretty tall. Because it's narrow, it's going to be tall. Because I did 10 foundations tall for this. And we got a little bit of space above. That's perfectly fine and acceptable. So I guess, I think what I'm going to do is on this level, we'll set up the 34 point whatever refineries on this level here. We're gonna have to kind of use both sides, and then I'll set up the 8 point whatever diluted fuel blenders on this level as well. I should be able to fit both of them. And then I'll come back with you so we can see what has been done. And I'll show you how we handle the byproduct. Well, I'll show you how we handle all of this down here to take care of all of it. So I'll be right back after I get these 2 set up. Alrighty, I got some outputs figured out, so we're good to go. All of the polymer resin. I do have the lifts. Wow, I couldn't think of that word. Jeez Louise. All of the lifts ready to go, and I color coded them because those are gonna go to the diluted fuel step up above. And then on the other side, I did the same thing. As soon as we get past the autosave, there we go. So all this heavy oil residue is flowing through some pipes, and they're color coded to go into the refineries up above to make petroleum coke. So if we come up here, here's my petroleum coke step, and I broke them into sets of 10. So I have 3 sets of 10 and then just a little bit extra. And then this last one here is, no, not the last one. This one here, sorry. This first one here is the one that's overclocked to match the one down below. So that's what we did for the petroleum coke step. And the petroleum coke meets up in the middle. And the reason I broke them out into 10 is because we get 120 multiplied by 10 is 1200 per line. Really easy to figure that out. This one doesn't need that much, but you know, it is what it is. That's totally fine. So one little change I made with the diluted fuel step is I added extra blenders. So this blue set and this green set is what we need. This one is overclocked to provide the amount of fuel that we need. Yeah, we need 4.2 extra, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. So we got the 4 blue and the 4 green that will go to whatever the diluted fuel needs to go to. And then these are all the extra heavy oil residue that is remaining as a byproduct from the polymer resin step down below. So we have a lot of polymer resin down here, and we'll just take on average. So it's, what was it, 34? No, it was, okay, we'll just take an average of 30 times 20, that's 600. We have around 600 heavy oil residue as a byproduct, and we only needed 400, so the additional 200 has to go somewhere. So I'm just gonna have it produce in a blender, and then I'll send that to a fuel generator, and we'll just generate a little extra power, which is completely fine. In fact, we'll be generating quite a bit of power because we're actually going to produce 400 fuel per minute just by that step. So we'll actually be able to generate a decent amount of power, and I might slap that somewhere over here, maybe down there. I don't know. I'll figure that out. So what I can do is I could actually get this hooked up. So we can hook these pipes up. These are ready to go. And we should actually see some of these kick on once they realize that they're active. So yeah, we're getting some heavy oil residue, and we'll start producing some fuel. And that's all we're going to do with it for now, because we don't really have anything that we can do with this right at this moment. We'll have to figure out, we'll probably have to burn this while we're waiting on what to do with the actual diluted fuel. We'll have to burn this so that we can produce the plastic and rubber without any issues. But we'll see what happens. That's probably going to stop now. Yep, it's done. So there we go. So that is simply the diluted fuel. It's pretty simple to do. So we can also set up all of our petroleum coke. We'll just let that sit at the end of the belt. No big deal. So let's come over here and we'll connect up the blue one and then the other ones to their respective lines. This one's a little bit above. And we should be seeing petroleum coke getting made. And there we go. And all of these belt lines should fill up here relatively quickly. And there's the green one. And then the light blue one should be coming soon, I think. Maybe. So yeah, this is just gonna run until it can't anymore. So there's the light blue one. And then the purple one, there it is. Sweet. So that is the Petroleum Coke and the Diluted Fuel step. We really can't do anything with this right now. It's gonna come later, but at least we have it set up. So the next step is to make the rubber and plastic. And I think what I want to do is well, hold on, let's take a look at this. So I only need about 12 refineries of recycled plastic. It's not a lot. So some of the fuel is going to come from down below to make this plastic. The next step, and I actually had this wrong, in my spreadsheet I didn't have every single spot accounted for. I had more polymer resin than I had originally thought. I actually need 98.17 of the residual rubber refineries, so it's more than I anticipated, but that doesn't change anything below. I missed one step in my spreadsheet. I missed one little thing where I added it and how much I needed total. So it was just a slight typo. But now that I got it in there, it matches my polymer resin output, matches my polymer resin input for the residual rubber. So we're good there, thankfully. So yeah, this is gonna be a crazy step, and we have to get a ton of water up here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I really don't, because that's a lot of water. If I look at that, I need 3,926.8 water. So let's just do 3930 divided by 120. I need 33 water extractors. That kind of sucks. If I overclock it to 300, I only need 13.1. Really? Come on, man. How about 240? Fine, I can live with that. I can live with 16.375. So I think, so we don't have to make the fuel travel so far. We'll put the fuel on this end over here. And then we'll start the rubber down there, and then we'll probably have to have a second floor above it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm gonna set some of this up. I'll probably set up the plastic first, just so I have it available, and then I'll set up the rubber after that. But I'll show you when I'm done with that step, and we can kind of go through it and make sure everything at least relatively works before we move on. Alright, I've done a ton of work. So I got all the polymer resin lined up, ready to go. I got 4 lifts ready to take that up. And I forgot one thing. This stopped working. I was like, well, this should never stop working. Why didn't it stop working? I didn't set up the byproduct chain. So all I had to do was take the polymer resin and just go sink it. That's it. It was that easy. So that's taken care of. That's all in the sink. So now I'm gonna show you what I did. So we got our diluted fuel that we saw already, and then we got our petroleum coke that we saw already, and I set those up to sync so they will always be running. I can disable that at any time. It's not a big deal. I just wanted it to run so I could see it being active. And then up here is this right here is the recycled plastic, so it'll take our fuel and rubber. And we just needed 12 of these, which isn't bad. That's really not a whole lot here. And the fuel comes up right here. So all I have to do for this, and we can connect this now, is I just need to connect this one here. This is a cluster of pipes, by the way, so this is a little crazy. But all I have to do is take this one and connect it here. And that'll be my fuel. And it's kind of hard to see, but basically it does a loop around. So it connects to every single one of these purple ones here and loops around. So these should all start getting fuel, as much as there is at least. So yeah, we're getting some fuel here. And then everything down here, this little gap here is where all the rubber production starts. So all these belts are the polymer resin. And we already got water, so I have a ton of rubber down here. And then those all combine into a line, and they all come over here, and there is a couple of sinks over there. That'll just sink the rubber because we don't really have a use for it at this point in time, but we will soon. And then there's also this level up here, which is even more rubber. This is all rubber up here. This is insane. It's a lot of work. All these white pipes are water. So just keep that in mind. They're all water. And this is all residual rubber. It's crazy. And then we do have some fuel coming up here. And I just set up some fuel power generators. We're just going to burn any excess fuel at the moment. So this green line is actually the line that we need for a future production chain. But for now, we don't want anything stopping. So we're just going to burn it, and we'll take care of it later. So I suppose I can show you the water pipes. So all the white pipes are water pipes, and I sent that under here. And one Mark II pump can go up 10 foundations. It can go higher than that, but like this was kind of my standard here. One Mark II pump goes up 10 foundations. So that's all water pipes. That's all water pipe. We have 15 water pipes. Yeah, I believe so. 15 water pipes. So those all come down here, and we got a huge water pipe system here. So we got 7 on the bottom level and 8 on the top level. Bring those all the way over here, and we got all of our water extractors over here. They're all overclocked, so some of these have 280. Basically, I separated it to what it exactly needs. These ones need 240. This furthest one over here needs 300. And then these ones were all set up for theirs as well. So that's 240, 240, 240. I think one of them was 280. Yeah, 2 of them were 280. So they're all set up for exactly what they need. And the only thing we have left to do is we need to connect up our polymer resin. That's literally all there is to this chain getting set up. And then we need to decorate the building. That's literally it. So what we can do is we can connect these bad boys up and let it start producing more. So there we go. We're going to have all of our polymer resin going up the lifts, and then we should start seeing the residual rubber chain going. And there we go. You can see rubber going down that way. For the plastic, we took all of these over here. So I believe that was like 18 refineries worth. So all the rubber from here will go to the plastic, and this is great. So then the plastic here will go to the sink. Not a big deal there. So that's what we got. So you can see this is going crazy, because it is crazy. So we got 2 lines here, and then there's still a little bit excess on this, so we had to take that up a level and finish that out. And so then these come over here, and we finish out the line there, and we keep going. But yeah, pretty cool. I like it. So we're making plenty of rubber now. And now we should be making a lot of diluted fuel as well. There's the plastic. The plastic is going. That's pretty cool. Yep, there we go. We're a little shy on rubber, but that'll take some time because we haven't filled all these out yet. So it'll take a little while. It's kind of just gotta go. And that's why I might leave these run, because it takes a long time for this to set up. And if I just let it run, it'll all fill up eventually. And then I can also see if there's any problems with this too. Because right now we have our byproduct of heavy oil residue here. And that's all coming from down here, but we have to let it kind of build up. Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll get there, because this is going to temporarily pause if it ever fills up too much. But yeah, that is basically the gist of this factory. This factory is awesome. All I have to do is decorate the building, and then we can end the episode off there. But this building almost became the tallest building so far. But it didn't. That one's still taller. And it might be because of the roof. Who knows? If I put a roof on this, it might get taller than that. That'd be kind of cool, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to figure out a design for this. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to have a good time trying to figure that out. But I'll do the best I can. So, yeah. I'll come back when I'm done with the design of this building. The building is complete. Kind of. And I'll show you why in just a little bit. But we can take a look at this building. It looks pretty sweet. I like the look of it. I'll start with the front side here. Well, I guess, yeah, this is technically the front side, because the door is on this side. I actually put a door on this building, so there we go. I did like this little design that I did here. So we got some windows, and then I got those concrete columns that I never ever used because you can't paint them. So I got those. I thought that looked pretty cool. And I got a small concrete pillar and a large concrete pillar. And they kind of make a little indent, and so it's just a little bit of depth of view. So that's the whole front side there. It looks pretty sweet. And the door is right there. So that's pretty awesome. So that's that. And then we got some bright orange lights right here. And so we got a window and a wall next to each other with a small concrete pillar on the outside with a label sign outside of that, and that is orange and lit up to 3. So now it produces this kind of hue on the side of the building. It kind of looks like a sunset is permanently striking the side of this building, which is kind of cool. And so this goes all the way up and all the way down. It costs a lot of materials. I made a blueprint for it, and it costs 486 iron plates and 432 quartz crystals, and then some other stuff. Yeah, I'm out of iron plates. I used up my entire iron plate reserve, which is insane. That's insane. But on this side of the building, I think this is really cool. Like all the pipes on the outside of the wall. That is so cool. I really like that. But yeah, I got a little bit of work left to do. Like I gotta take care of this here, because I ran out of iron plates. And then on the back side, that we will likely never see very often, I'm missing resources for this whole entire wall. I don't have it. I can't build it. I can build one more wall, and that is it. That is all I can do. So that's all I got. I'm gonna let the iron plates build up, and we can finish up this building in time. but you get the gist of what this building is. And so that is where we're gonna leave it. And the next episode, we are going to do some fun stuff. Okay, so every time I glitch like that, every little stutter like that, is because I leave electricity. Like, my game has so much stuff in it that something as minor as leaving electricity on my hover pack makes me stutter just a little bit, which is such an interesting problem. So Satisfactory devs, if you are watching this video, that's been an issue for a while now. Every time I leave electricity. So, and my world is just so massive, so it could just be a problem at scale. But I don't know, if you can figure out the solution to that. My autosaves take a while as well. But if you can figure out the solution to the stuttering when I'm leaving electricity, that'd be great. So, the next episode, we are going to be on top of this building. We're going to expand the King's Iron Ingot Forge to be taller. And we have to make 3 things. We need to make iron pipes, we need to make iron plates, and we need to make cast screws. So we're going to be making a ton of each of these things, and we're just going to take this building and go vertical. So that should be pretty cool. Hope you're excited for the next episode like I am. And I thought, once I start making the iron plates, and I might make them first, I can stick them into storage so I can finish off that wall. So yeah, I'm probably going to get started on that episode immediately so I can get iron plates up and running. And that'll be that. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. And let's see how far we can take this world, because this world is getting rough sometimes. But yeah, I got a lot of plans and we'll get moving. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope you have a blessed day. Hope you have a blessed week. I'll see you later.